Good evening. First of all, I'd like to welcome all of you to the Siam Society this evening. It's a nice crowd this evening. And I would encourage you on your way out to look at all of the announcements for future activities, lectures, programs, trips to around Thailand and to foreign countries. We have a very active lecture program as well as a travel program. So please take a look at those events that are advertised downstairs. My name is Jim Lehman. I'm a former member of the council, okay, here at the member of council as they call it. I guess that's board of directors in American English. Anyway, I'm a former member of member of council at the Siam Society for a number of years. And I'm a great supporter of the travel and lecture program. So again, welcome, good to see you. When I got the announcement and I read the first sentence, I knew I had to be here tonight because in the first sentence there are 3 words that would get me here if nothing else did, which is explore, Bangkok, and out of the way places. As a retiree in Bangkok, I spend a lot of my time on those 3 words, okay? There's also a note here that it's a virtual journey, which is another objective of mine in retirement, which is to learn how to put these things together. So maybe I'll get some pointers this evening from your PowerPoint, right? So I did not know, I knew I was coming, but I did not know I would be doing the introduction. So when that happened, I live nearby, so it's easy to come. When that happened, I had to do some homework a bit about our guest this evening, Eric. And Mr. Lim has quite an interesting history. You don't meet that many people, I think, as interested as he is in Thailand and Bangkok that come from a neighboring ASEAN country. So if he doesn't tell us tonight, please go to his website, which I did, and you will learn how his interest in Thailand began and flourished as a young man in Singapore, and how he came here after retirement from a career with the Singapore military. He came here 18 years ago and has been an explorer of Bangkok, of Thailand ever since. Please check the website. On it you will find there is a guide for independent travelers, an electronic guide, an audio guide, a website guide, a monthly magazine called Bangkok Travel Bug, and he has 2 ebooks available on Kindle, again, about traveling around Thailand. The homepage of the website looks very interesting, and the number of places that he talks and has written about and talks about in his website is quite impressive. So for those of us who make a point of trying to find the out-of-the-way places to explore in our adopted city, I would like to ask you to welcome another voice, another person, another explorer in that area who will join us this evening. And to remember, if you're out there exploring around Bangkok, start early. Start early in the day, okay? There's another book on this subject out called 22 Walks of Thailand, or 22 Walks of Bangkok. Yes, perhaps you've seen it. Buy it, take a look. But the man who wrote it, be careful. He says 4 hours, and if he says 4 hours, that means you start as early in the day as possible. But I digress. Okay, Eric, we welcome you. We look forward to hearing from you and your introduction to your many interests and places you have visited in Bangkok and Thailand. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Good evening, members of Siam Society, guests, friends, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to share my travel experiences with you. In this presentation, we will take a virtual journey through the less traveled, the lesser known places in Bangkok. Places that are treasure troves of history, art, and culture of the diverse communities that make up Bangkok and Thailand. Our journey will take us from Nong Chok in eastern Bangkok across the city to Tawi Watana in the west. These are some of the excerpts from my third ebook, which I'm currently preparing. Now, here's a map of the places we will be visiting. That's number 1, Nong Chok. Number 2, the Thai soap carver in Bang Na. Number 3, the model royal barge builder in Dusit. Number 4, Kudi Chin in Thonburi. Number 5, Bang Kradi in Bang Khun Thien. Number 6, Kok San Chao in Thaleng Chan. Number 7, the House of Museums in Tawi Watana. And number 8, Tawi Watana itself. Let's start our journey in Nong Chok. Nong Chok, with an area of 336 square kilometers, is the biggest of the 50 districts in Bangkok. It has about 15% of the land area in Bangkok, but only 1% of the population. The district got its name from the water lettuce, or chok, growing in the canals and streams in the area, and is located on the eastern fringe of Bangkok, with the province of Chachoengsao to the east. There are 2 events in history that had a significant impact on Nong Chok today. The first was the digging of the Sansap Canal, linking Bangkok to the Bang Pakong River in Chachoengsao, in the reign of King Rama III. This was to facilitate the movement of troops in the long war with Vietnam from 1833 to 1848 over control of the Cambodian court in Phnom Penh. Thousands of Chinese laborers were conscripted to dig this canal, which was more than 70 kilometers. It was the humble mosquito that gave the canal its name. The area was infested with mosquitoes, hence San, or 100,000. And the residents were severely bitten, so they were sap or sore. As a result, the canal was called Klong San Sap. The second significant event was the mass resettlement of Muslims from the Patani kingdom. These migrations were not voluntary and usually took place after war or a conquest. In the reign of King Rama I, when Siamese rule was reimposed on Patani, there were several rebellions. It was the rebellion in 1831-32 that prompted the forced migration to Nong Chok after the war with Vietnam. The descendants of those early settlers still live in Nong Chok today. The population of Nong Chok is 85% Muslim, with the rest consisting of Buddhists, Christians, and a large Mon community. The situation in Nong Chok today is a far cry from the early days. This picture in the Nong Chok Museum sums up the religious harmony in the district. A mosque, a temple, and a statue of the Virgin Mary among golden ears of rice. There are 43 mosques, 16 temples, and 1 Catholic church in Nong Chok. The Ul Husna Mosque is the biggest and most important mosque in Thailand. The office of the Islamic Council of Thailand is located near here, and so is the residence of the Chula Ratchamontri, the spiritual leader of the Muslims in Thailand. Wat Nong Chok is the main temple for the Buddhists in Nong Chok, and Wat Mai Charanrat is the temple for the Mon community here. The St. Teresa Church, a Catholic church, is the only church in Nong Chok. Nong Chok is still largely an agricultural area today. rice fields line the Sansep for as far as the eye can see. Because of the irrigation from the Sansep and the numerous canals, the farmers here are blessed with multiple crops a year. We were able to see rice fields that were freshly sown, budding green fields, some ripened, some being harvested, all in one day in the same area. And this saling, or three-wheeler, a museum exhibit, is still on the roads, providing public transport. You won't see many of these in Bangkok today. Finally, this is the memorable scene from Nong Chau, a farmer taking his buffaloes through the rice fields. Who would believe this is a scene in Bangkok? It wasn't easy finding the home of Re Niran in Bang Na with an incomplete address, and most of the younger residents have never heard of him. Finally, I met an older resident who told me that Ren has passed away and that his son has continued with the trade. He was also kind enough to set me in the right direction to the house. It took another resident to guide me through the narrow lanes before I finally got there. Dam Rong Sak, the son of Ren Niran, welcomed me to his home. We sat by the marble table in the backyard by the canal which runs past his home. This is his fascinating story about the careers of father and son. Ren Niran's first career was with the Royal Thai Navy, where he rose to the rank of captain. The naval camp where he worked is just across the canal from the present home. Dam Rong Sak was born there and grew up in that camp. When Ren resigned from the Navy, the family moved to the present location in the closely knit Wat Bang Na Nok community. Ren started a second career in traditional sculpture and soon became famous as a Thai soap carver. In 1996, he was awarded for his outstanding contribution to the conservation of Thai culture in the craftsmanship category. Here's some of his work. Meanwhile, his son Dam Rok Sak joined the Navy and reached the rank of Chief Petty Officer. Like his father, he resigned and later graduated as a teacher in the arts, specializing in sculpture. He followed his father and learned. Ren Dam Rong Sak died in 2006 at the age of 94. But by then, the skills of the Thai soap carver have passed on to the second generation. Dam Rong Sak continued with his father's legacy of soap carving. Why soap? Soap carving involves very elaborate and intricate designs. The material used must be firm, but also soft enough to carve the detailed designs. Soap is non-perishable, unlike fruits. Soap is easily available, unlike softwood. Soap is durable, as long as it does not come in contact with water or moisture. Some of the carvings in Dam Rong Sak's collections are more than 30 years old. The only problem is the original color fades. This can be overcome by painting or dyeing on completion of carving. The next trade secret is the carving knife. The Thai soap carver uses a very special carving knife which is not easily available. It must be custom made. This carving knife was designed by Ren Niran. Since then, the family has been making their own carving knives. In the next house, Dam Rong Sak's younger brother works on producing new blades. The first machine cuts the blade. The second machine sharpens it. Here are some more soap carvings from the family collection. Dam Rong Sak is in his late 60s today. He has been in this trade for 40 years or more. His advice to aspiring soap carvers is to have the patience and concentration, maintain a peaceful and unhurried state of mind. There are no deadlines. He just carves every day till the work is done. Damrong Sak refuses to sell these carvings over the years, even though there were many offers. He prefers to teach and pass the skills on to preserve the craft through lessons at the Chatuchak weekend market. The model royal barge builder in Dusit specializes in making Supana Hong royal barges with painstaking skill and fine detail, producing works of art that are fit for royalty. Ajahn Paisan Netasut warmly welcomed me to his workshop, and invited me to a seat. After I explained the purpose of my visit, he started telling me about his work and community. Ajahn Paisan started life as a teacher in physical education at the age of 25, a job he held for 10 years before he left to take up royal barge building. He is in his late 70s today. As a teacher, he took an interest in this craft and started learning about it. I asked him how he acquired his skill. He answered me with an old Thai idiom, Kru Pak Lak Jam, which translates as the process of learning from a teacher who doesn't impart knowledge directly to the pupil. The pupil watches, learns, and practices on his own. Over time, the pupil builds up his skill. Ajahn Paisan lives not far away from his workshop, and he related the history of his soil and community where he lives. More than 100 years ago, in the reign of King Rama V, there was a soda factory here, the first soda factory in Thailand. Consequently, the soil was called Soy Soda, and the people who lived there, the Soy Soda community. This name is still used today, though the official name is Soy Sukhothai 10. The model royal barges made by Ajahn Paisan are exclusively Supana Hong, the mythical golden swan that is the steed of Brahma, one of the trinity of Hindu deities. These royal barges made by Ajahn Paisan have been presented to royalty and statesmen. These two photographs and the newspaper article hold a pride of place in Ajahn Paisan's workshop. Next, he showed me models in various stages of completion to have an idea of how a model royal barge is made. First, the outline of the model royal barge is carved out from a solid block of wood. The seating compartment is then hollowed out. The hardest part is carving the swan's head at the bow. It's even harder at the stern. One wrong stroke and it will be ruined. The basic model is then painted. The next stage is the intricate and painstaking details in the barge. The swan's head, the royal pavilion, the benches, the oars, and the little figures that make up the crew. As work only commences when there is an order, there weren't any completed models to view. Fortunately, Ajahn Paisan had a friend, an art teacher, who had a completed model in his studio in Silom Galleria. This is what a completed royal barge looks like. Ajahn Paisan conducts model barge building classes as well. Those who are interested can make inquiries directly. There's no time limit for his lessons. I have always been impressed by the Thai artists and craftsmen whom I have met. They are filled with pride, commitment, and passion in what they were doing. They showed me their works and explained to me how things are done with humility and openness. It's a pleasure to learn about men and women so skilled in their craft and so dedicated to their cause while contributing to the craftsmanship of Thailand. Ajahn Paisan and Kun Damrong Sak are two such people. We crossed the Chao Phraya over to Thonburi to visit an old Portuguese Thai community, Ban Kuri Chin. As a schoolboy, accounts of the voyages of the Portuguese mariners fired my imagination. In the 15th century, this small maritime kingdom sailed out to discover the far corners of the